I'm Taylor, Jack Daniels of the Boxers Trainers Channel. And today we have I want to say a great show that I'm about to pose in regards to some great boxing. For those of us that are boxing fanatics, or for those like you or like me, a boxing fanatic who absolutely, unequivocally love the sport of boxing. Now, as much as I say that, I haven't an iota of proof that I am this adamant about loving the sport. But if you listen to the things that I say, and if you follow me as most people follow other channels, and for some strange reason beyond my ability to comprehend, y'all believe in what them cats be saying, but that's okay. I got it. Shout out to Ship with Still in the house. Salute to you too, brother. And I got it. But at the end of the day, I guarantee you that excuse me, that my 70 years of history in the sport makes me a worthy opponent when it comes to boxing. You know what I'm saying? As much as I boxed and as hard as I boxed and tried to be the best in the business when I did box, I applied that same disposition as far as my commentating, as far as apprising you of my disposition when it comes to boxing and boxers, right? The sport of boxing, period, right? I am going to bring it to you on a 100% playing field. Shout out to Ship Still. Ship Still say he's ready for some good fighting. I am ready for some good fighting too. And then that he makes mention of that, I want to say that this particular show has something to do with the potential for a great fight, right? The fight even hasn't even been discussed, well, per se, because they had on. Shout out to the Boxing Voice, right? Because they had Charles Cromwell on today, right? And that mild minute killer, if you will, in the ring, right? Um, said some interesting things that I will highlight as we go on, right? But the fact of the matter is, in my opinion, right, boxing not only needs, but has an overwhelming desire to have some good fights, right? So fights like this one, the one that I'm talking about today, is a good fight, right? But who knows about Charles Conwell? Charles Conwell, you know what I'm saying, has been around for what it has to be. He has to be, I have to say, like 4 or 5 years, but he's not on the map. He's not being advertised as being one sensational boxer, right? And actually, I just came into contact with Charles Cromwell today, right, through the boxing channel, right? And then I started analyzing his background, looking at his tape, right? I mean, check this out. Why do we not have conversations or talk about people like Charles Conwell? I mean, seems like something is missing in boxing when it comes to having contact or conversations with different boxers, right, that are on the radar, right? Charles Conwell is what? He's ranked number 2 by the WBO and 5 by the WBC. What I'm saying is this cat has some darn good ratings. Well, we know nothing about him. Why is that? You know what I mean? I mean, I can understand there's a lot of boxers involved, right? But when you start to deal with the rankings, the ranks, how a person is ranked and rated in boxing, I think it's time for him to be made a part of the record as far as getting some type of some recognition, right? And that goes on a lot in the sport of boxing. I'm saying that to say this. About 3 weeks ago, oh, I take that back. Yeah, about 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, in the Usyk versus Tyson Fury fight, right? There was a young cat. I don't recall his name, but he was in a smaller weight division, right? He was like maybe a junior lightweight, right? And his opponent wasn't as good as he was. But my point is that this particular youngster was bad as hell with his hands. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, why haven't we seen or heard anything of this guy? Right? I'm gonna eventually get around because I wanted to do a show on him, but I wanted to wait until I can be able to post him and his expertise on the screen on the show, right? To make a definitive explanation on why it is that we are not having access to all these boxes that are talented boxes, right? But we're not being exposed to them. And I think it's high time that we start being exposed to all the guys that's boxing that's in at least the top 10, if not the 20 ranks, right? You know what I mean? I think that, shout out to Jamie Peterson. Anyway, shout out to Chip Whistle also. But my point that I'm trying to make is boxing has it's kind of like went backwards a little bit as far as I'm concerned, right? The big fights are not being made, right? The good fights are not being made, right? We're getting mediocre boxing matches, right? But yet and still, these promoters want to get paid. Everybody wants to get paid, and I get that, man. But what about the fans? What about the people that promote the fans, that promote boxing, like me, right? Doesn't matter what I want to see. Doesn't matter what the fans want to see, right? I mean, at what point do the promoters make good on the word as they seem to think that they're the best promoters, right? Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I do know that I'm unhappy about boxing as it exists today. So what we need to do is we need to start promoting people like me, right? We need to start getting behind people like me. That's gonna make some noise, right? In regards to what's in the best interest of boxing. Because, like I said, I am not satisfied with boxing as it exists today. When I was boxing, man, I mean, people box. They wanted to box each other, right? It didn't matter about the win-loss ratio that much, right? Of course it was important. I mean, that's what you box for, right? To be the best. Everybody boxes to be the best, right? That are on that level, right? I mean, there are people at this lower level, right, that box, you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, it's just an interesting thing to do, and they want to test their skills, right, as men. And that's perfectly all right. But I'm talking about professional athletes, right, that get paid for their services rendered, right? We want to start seeing more of those cats that think like that, right? And the only way that we are going to get to that level is that we have to start promoting Jack Daniels at the Boxers Trainers Channel. We have to get behind Jack Daniels at the Boxers Trainers Channel because Jack Daniels at the Boxers Trainers Channel is smart enough and intelligent enough to make stuff happen. But I can't do this alone, right? And the people that I communicate with, that's just not going to happen. They are not going to stop what they're doing to help Jack Daniels at the Boxers Trainers Channel promote and push the sport further, right? I mean, I've actually been sitting around waiting for different people in the sport of boxing, right, to say, okay, man, let's see if we can promote some of the ideas that Jack Daniels at the Boxers Trainers Channel want to promote. Or let me see if I can find somebody that can rise to the occasion of allowing a great trainer like Jack Daniels, the Boxing Trainers Channel, to train them. Nobody. And I know some people in the sport, right? You know what I mean? I just don't even want to have a conversation about them because what can I say? What can I say? I oftentimes make mention of us as a people seem to drop the ball when it comes to each one, teach one, help your brother and sister like you want to be treated and helped. We have dropped the ball in that, and we continue to drop the ball in regards to that concept, right? So, and it kind of seems transparently obvious to me, Jack Daniels of the Boxers Trainers Channel, that because the way that I think, because of the way that I want to single-handedly promote and bring boxing to the next level, people seem to not be interested in that. Those that I know and otherwise. Why is that? You know what I mean? Are we so arrogant that we forget who we are, that we forget the struggles of the past, that we forget what our mothers and our fathers has taught us in the sense that we have to unify in order to move forward? Have we forgotten all that? I mean, is it more important to those that are in a position to say, man, I'm gonna help that cat, man, because that cat is a real brother, man. That cat is solid. I am, right? Y'all get that. It ain't just you hearing me talk about this. You know and feel in your heart that this brother that's got behind this mic is 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 serious about what he's saying. Y'all know that. You know, I mean, it doesn't take a scientific a genius to recognize truth from fake or falsehood, right? That being the case, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? What do we do to elevate those that are concerned and love the sport as Jack Daniels, the boxing trainer's channel? Who do we kick in the butt to get them motivated enough to help Jack Daniels, the boxing trainer's channel? Okay, I'm open for comments. I'm open for support in opening some doors for promotion of the sport by somebody, right, who believes that the sport needs some refreshment. Who other than Jack Daniels of the Boxing Trainer's Channel? Let's move on. You got the message. I'm quite sure you got the message. And if you got any sense, you know what I'm saying, you'll do something about it and stop being so damn arrogant. God dang it. Anyway, let's talk about Charles Cornwell. Charles Cornwell, 27 years of age. He's 5'9" with a 67-inch arm reach. He's a right-hander. He has 21 lustrous wins, 16 by knockout. He's no losses, never been stopped, no draws. Now this is amazing, and we know nothing about Charles Cornwell. He's ranked number 2 by the WO and 5 by the WBC. And I did the tape on that man. My main man, the same man. The Mexican G in the house. What's up, champ? Yeah. So I'm talking about Charles Cornwell, man, and I'm going to be talking about the perfect opponent that I think that Charles Cornwell would be a perfect candidate to fight. Okay, and this is kind of like right on time. Virgil Ortiz is 26 years of age. He's 5'10" with a 70.1-inch arm. He's a right-handed. He has 22 illustrious wins. 21 illustrious wins by knockout. No losses, never been stopped, no draw. But I have to comment on the fact that in his last outing by a European boxer whom his name escapes me, I'm quite sure the Mexican G will compliment me on who that fighter was. Kind of like beat Virgil Ortiz up pretty bad. Now, Virgil Ortiz got the nod by the judges, but Virgil Ortiz left out of that ring pretty scarred up, pretty bruised up, right? As a result of, I can't think of his name, but he's a terrific boxer out of one of the Balkan states. I will say that. And I say that to say that I'm gonna probably get some feedback, some feedback behind it. But I just don't believe that Virgil Ortiz is a top-notch contender. I mean, I don't like saying stuff like that when I know that everybody in the boxing world loves Virgil Ortiz. There you go. I'm telling you, the Mexican Chief, when I get some money in my pocket, man, I'm coming to Las Vegas. I'm coming to Los Angeles, and we're going to have a day on me with you, brother, because you was a good brother, you know what I'm saying? You're very knowledgeable about this sport. He fought Boacek. Virgil Ortiz fought Boacek, right? And Boacek, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he just kind of like annihilated Virgil Ortiz, right? It was something that was unexpected, right? But it darn sure happened, man. These, and I keep making mention of these cats out the bucket. Okay. Oh, that's cool. You say he had to Google it. That's perfectly fine, partner. I appreciate the Googling, right? But the point is man, Voracek kind of like roughed up Virgil Ortiz. I think he knocked him down. Yeah, he knocked him down. You know what I'm saying? Hit that. While we at this, man, while y'all in the chat, where you run up out here with your goofy self. I gotta say what's on my mind, yo. Maybe that was right more y'all to the channel, right, with your goofy selves. Okay. Uh, but back to Bernard Ortiz and getting slimed by Boychek, right? I mean, didn't nobody expect that, right? But man, check this out here. I know boxing, man, and I keep impressing upon the fact that them cats are in Balkan countries, right? Them cold countries, right? Man, they got something to prove because a way of life is totally different from these cats in the States and these cats in these countries where the countries are really wealthy and the boxers, you know, they have a great time coming up. But in them Balkan states, them cats be coming for some food and some blood, right? They got to eat with that money, man. You know what I'm saying? So you need to try taking notice to them Balkan boxers, man, them Balkan fighters, man, because they ain't playing. You know what I'm saying? You know, okay, let's make mention to Torrance Bud Crawford and Madravo, right? You know what I'm saying? Perfect example of what I mean when I say them Balkan fighters, or them fighters from like war torn country, right? You know what I'm saying? Them cats got something. They got something to prove. You know what I mean? And I take personal interest in them because they show me things. You know what I'm saying? Today, in reference to how a boxer really trains himself to be great, right? They show me a lot, right? As opposed to a lot of these dudes that's in the business, right? That in my opinion, I often make mentions of this in my conversation, talking about boxing, whether it's on the channel or you know what I'm saying, one-on-one with somebody. I often make mention that these boxers in the States, they good as hell, but a lot of them is lazy as hell also. So let's keep it 100, right? They're repetitious as hell. A lot of these dudes that I see, that I monitor, right, I take total offense to a lot of stuff they do. A lot of these boxers can't even throw a hook, but they got, you know what I'm saying, they got belts. You know what I mean? They're talking a lot of trash, but I'm telling you, as a professional, as an ex-professional boxer, a lot of these cats can't even throw correct punches, man. You know what I'm saying? And when I make mention of it, right, people get to squandering. They don't want to, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to accept the fact that I'm telling them the truth. And the problem with that is, hey man, don't get me started. A lot of these dudes that are being trained are being trained wrong, right? Like I see, I got this youngster, his name is Ben Spikes, right? And I try to, you know what I'm saying? He is in Dallas, I'm in another state, right? So I have to do it like the best I can. But the cat wants to be a world-renowned champion, and I tell him, man, I can make you a world-renowned champion if you could pay attention, right? And if you can get behind the repetitious, you know what I'm saying, training that is consistent with the boxers today in the States, right? They have the same routine and do the same thing over and over. They never break away from that routine, right? So I'm saying that to say that that's not really the mindset of a great boxer, right? You gotta be resilient in the way with the way you approach boxing if you want to be great and you want to stay on top, right? You can't just hit the pads, hit the bag, shadow box, spar, and things of that sort. You got to, you know what I'm saying? You got to go in the ring, you know what I'm saying, with a face before you, like a Canelo Alvarez or a Torrance Crawford. You got to go in the ring with those people. The only thing you see in the gym is those two people. You trying to concentrate on being in a position to one day be able to whoop that ass. Excuse my French, right? But I got to make the point, right? You got to be in a position. I'm going to evolve the Mexican G, the Mexican G, quote unquote. You gotta constantly be looking to evolve. You know what I'm saying? Man, you know what I'm saying? As soon as I get this my podcast, I'm gonna have you on, Messenger. We gonna talk some boxing, man, because I like the way you think about boxing, brother. You feel me? I mean, man, sometimes you know what I'm saying. If you ain't know to help me through, right, I'll be kind of like my age is relatively up there, brother. I forget sometimes, but that's okay. I got G-Max and she in the house to help out. But I'm just saying, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be in a position, a state of mind to be able to evolve every day. You go to the gym, you know what I'm saying? You punch it, I don't care if you got 50 people in the gym, right? Your concentration is on Saul Canelo Alvarez or Torrance Bud Crawford. Those are your opponents. When you're throwing a jab, when you're throwing a jab, or you throwing a hook or right hand, right? Your opponent is Torrance Bud Crawford, also Saul Canelo Alvarez, right? And every time you do something, that's your level of concentration to evolve to the point where you can slip past anything they do and to get better. You see what I'm saying? See, that is what is missing in my highly educated opinion as a trainer. That is what's missing today in boxing. Now, how you know? Because I go in the gym and I observe these dudes, right? You know what I mean? I don't want to make mention to somebody in the gym that I may had a conversation with. Not verbal conversation with, but you know what I'm saying? We were in the same space and I was watching him box, right? And he's very popular, very well, and he's a tremendous little boxer, right? But I see stuff that his trainer don't see because I've been in the ring and I know certain things that the trainer don't know. Right? And who you can't tell them. You can't walk in the gym off the street and tell the trainer, hey man, check this out. Have your boy plant that right foot diametrically up diametrically to a level where everything that he throws is off that left foot, and to get some traction on that punch, you're pushing off that right foot, excuse me, that right foot, right? And that's where you get your power from. A lot of these guys can't throw a power punch because they don't know how. You know what I'm saying? And you can't, and I can't tell them. You know what I'm saying? You go on the gym time, man, check this out. Dude needs to plan the street. He gonna run you up out of there because it's a little embarrassing. And I get that, but and that's one of the reasons why I don't share my boxing intellect. You heard me? Boxing intellect. When I'm in the gym, in a different state or whatever the case be, I don't do that. But if you like, you don't see that because I love the sport. I want to see the sport evolve. You know what I mean? I want to be able to get on this podcast. Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, ooh, you hot, brother. You hot. You are absolutely the message and the truth. Gee, see, that application applies not only to boxing, but to everything in the world, right? You know what I'm saying? Mexican G, shout out to Mexican G, says, a true coach accepts criticism. Man, that is a powerful gesture. You know what I'm saying? But I go beyond just boxing when it comes to constructive criticism, right? That is how I evolved to the point where I know boxing. I'm a hell of an intellect, you know what I'm saying? Because I was in a position where I embraced constructive criticism. I was around these cats, man, and if you wasn't particularly greedy for knowledge, you had to get away from them, right? And at a particular time in my life, I was around people like that, right? And they embraced me and they showed me real, genuine love, right? Contrary to the fact that a lot of times they was, you know what I'm saying, not cursing me out, but like, you know what I'm saying, making a point felt and known, right, in the way that they describe the things that I need to change up on. And I embraced it. And I am today a better human being, and I am a disciplined man as a result of embracing constructive criticism. You hear me? No, listen to me. Do you hear me? You know who I'm talking to. Do you hear me? Constructive criticism. Only men are capable of accepting and embracing constructive criticism. Man, don't start me, Mexican G. Look, let's get back to Virgil Ortiz. Virgil Ortiz, man, has 22 wins, 21 knockouts, never lost, no stops, and no draws. He is currently the WBC interim super welterweight champion of the world. And that's a good thing. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Oscar De La Hoya, hands on, has did a good job in promoting Virgil Ortiz. But at the end of the day, is where we probably separate part country with Mexican G. At the end of the day, I just don't believe that Virgil Ortiz has the boxing IQ, if you will, to do great things in the sport. Not saying that Charles Conwell is great in that regard either. But I think that in this scenario, if those two were to fight at 154 pounds, Charles Conwell will come with the victory. Charles Conwell is a dog, right? And in the sport of boxing, you have to train to be a dog, right? Because they're going to have boxers that are before you that's going to be training to be a dog also. So you got to train harder. You feel me? That being said, look, man, y'all got me wired up on this podcast. Y'all got me wanting to push and promote and drag the greatness out of boxing. And that's exactly what I'm going to do with you or without you. Some way, Allah, may the peace and blessing be upon him and the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, right? I'm going to make this happen with the permission of Allah. That being said, man, hit that subscription button, hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section, and let me know if the sport of boxing can be elevated and should be elevated to a more pleasing and fan-based institution. And try and start sharing the video with your friends and relatives so I can get my watch time hours up, so I can get my monetary interests working. Okay. Shout out to Shasha. Shout out to Shasha. I'm Mexican G. Gotta go, buddy. Please, as always, to be in your presence. That being said, I gotta go.